Hi, welcome to Ghost Talk. My name is Harold St. John, founder of Toledo Ghost Hunters Society. Tonight, I'm joined with our case manager, Becky McClenathen.
Hello.
Becky, thanks for joining us tonight. I don't get to do a show very often with Becky anymore with her work schedule, but I've been looking forward the last couple of days to being able to do a show with you again. So I'm excited that you're here. Butch is doing some family things tonight, so Butch can't be with us. But I always want to give a shout out to our founder, Butch Leon. So, like I said, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Last week's show I thought was pretty good. You were working, so you didn't get to see it.
Right.
You had watched it a couple of days later on Black-Eyed Children.
Yes, crazy subject.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if that would be a great topic or not, because it's something that we have never encountered as a group.
Right.
Or me even personally, I've never encountered that. But the show, once it came out, I heard from one of our students at Ghost Hunting 102, one of the students that thinks he had encountered a black-eyed child several years ago on a skateboard. So I'm looking forward to getting that story from this kind of.
We may have to then come back and revisit.
Yeah. So tonight's show is going to be fears and phobias and how it affects ghost hunters and paranormal investigators. So I'm hoping it's a great topic. If there's anybody out there watching, if you want to comment, please do, or jump in and say hello to us. So we've been.
Or talk about your fears.
Yeah, share it with us. Ghost Hunting 102 continued again last week with our second class.
Sound like it really went.
It was. I think it was very informative. I want to give a personal thank you to our tranquility specialist, Michelle Maddox, who lectured for about an hour on the different types of entities, human and non-human spirits, and different things that you can encounter within an investigation. She also talked about advanced self-protection. So it was really, really interesting. We had got some messages on our Facebook and to our website afterwards about how informative it was. So a big thank you to Michelle Maddox. She's full of knowledge when it comes to those things. And what a blessing it is to have her as part of our group. It's kind of like you doing case management.
Very knowledgeable.
You doing case management. It's just something that, I can't do. And also what Michelle does, I can't do it either, as you know. Very informative, and I'm glad that she was able to. And then Chris Tillman from Haunted Toledo went on as well. And I found his lecture really interesting. He went over tools of the trade. He broke down the equipment from REM pods to K2 meters, cameras from infrared to full spectrum, and what they can and can't do. And everybody can learn something from these other paranormal investigators or other groups. And Chris is full of knowledge. I really particularly liked what he had to say about the SLS cameras. When they're moving around, they have to refocus, and you can get false positives on that. What else would he said about the K2 meters that they pick up radio frequency? So I think it was very knowledgeable for ghost hunters and paranormal investigators on the do's and don'ts of the equipment. So it was a really interesting class. We're going to be off this Thursday because of Thanksgiving, and then you're coming up next for class number 3.
Yes.
It almost seems like you're maybe hiding things from me. You're not giving me all the details on this. But what do you tell our fans what you have in store for class number 3?
Well, these are a lot of these people took our classes in Ghost Hunting 101. So my class in 101 was everything as far as doing an investigation from the first contact and the research and analyzing and setting up at the home for the investigation. But this time, I guess, because, it's 102, I'm going to give them their own scenario, and they're going to get the same things I would get from a client as a case manager. And then I have to determine, how I'm going to handle the case, how I'm going to handle the family, what I'm going to target, how I'm going to get my research. And they're just going to have to do a fake case, kind of.
But you're not going to share the types of hauntings? Like scenario number 1 is a poltergeist scenario.
Oh, no hints will be given tonight. I'm hoping they'll like it. I'm hoping it'll be a fun activity. I'm not going to be playing any scary videos or EVPs like I did in 101, but we
So
may have time at
basically-
the end to play some new
So
stuff.
basically, you're going to create a haunting, create a case or a scenario,
Yeah, several of
and
them.
then break the class into 3 groups. And
Right.
are they going to have to figure out what type of haunting it is?
Yeah.
And then,
And I'm not telling you what they are.
I mean, so you're not giving anything away?
No.
I guess we'll have to wait for class then, so.
I think they'll do pretty good. They've taken 101. They got a lot of good information from the last 2 classes, which I'm going to implement some of that in my case scenarios.
Sounds really exciting.
Mhm.
I'm looking forward to you being our guest speaker at the Ghost Hunting 102 class, so
Yeah, it'll
I'm
be
looking
fun.
forward to that. I heard back from Owens Community College already. They're already talking about wanting us to do a Ghost Hunting 101 again in January, so I think you and I have agreed to allow me to do that again. So I think that's going to be kind of exciting as well.
As long as people want to take the class, I guess we'll.
Yeah, that's what I've always said this. I don't know how long this thing can run.
There's
just-
a lot of interest though in the paranormal now, so
when we
I can
first, yeah,
see how.
when we first started doing this, I told you this class will probably run twice, and then I thought at that time it would have run its course, but since then we're now doing a Ghost Hunting 102, and they look forward to that coming up in January. So if you didn't get an opportunity to take Ghost Hunting 102, owensworks.com. You can contact Owens about the Ghost Hunting 101 class. I'm apparently coming up again in January.
Which will probably be followed by a 102 again.
Probably, I would think so. So we got some things coming up here. The holidays are upon us now. Butch and I are giving another public presentation at Bay Park Hospital this coming Tuesday, to a packed house. Last time we were there, I was really shocked, but pleasantly surprised as well. There was 80 or 90 people in the room, so I'm not sure how many people to expect that day, but we're going to go give
And
another.
you get lunch.
Yeah, we get free lunch. Everybody knows how important that is to me. So once again, I thought, with Halloween ending, I thought that maybe the public presentations, we would go quiet for a month or two, but we're scheduling right through November again. So this Tuesday, it's for the Bay Park Auxiliaries, and I want to thank, I think her name is Sue LaPointe, that was inviting us in for that. So Butch and I will be doing that at lunchtime Tuesday. A couple other things going on, and I'm kind of reading my notes too. You've been helping me with the book. Becky's been helping me with this book that I hope comes out this coming spring, Ghost Talk Paranormal Ohio. We are in the process of interviewing a lot of our ex-clients, some of them from private investigations, much to our surprise, want their story to go public.
Yes.
So, I mean, we're going to handle that with some compassion
And you are having to spend a lot of time going through old case files.
It's opened up a whole new can of worms for me.
But we found a lot of stuff that
Sure.
That's been in the can too long that we forgot about.
Right, and we found a month or so ago, we came across a lady that took the Ghost Hunting 101 class, and now we've taken her on as an editor. She's doing a great job. She's quickly finishing the stories. I send her emails, and as you know, I write the story. I'm full of passion, but I'm not a writer by any means, and I don't want to pretend like I am a writer. So you do all the corrections and make the story readable.
Yeah, I'm editor number one,
right,
and then
without
editor
taking my
number
script.
two has got my back.
Well, and your son Jamie has helped us a lot,
Yeah.
at the beginning, but we have an editor now, so hopefully this book can continue. I don't want to speed through it. I want to take my time. I didn't realize how much work it is, but I'm really looking forward to some of the stories.
You don't want to go through your old stuff later and find out you left something out. We got a lot of interesting cases.
Well, through all this, we had a pretty interesting day yesterday. I want to personally thank Don and Kelly from Fringe Paranormal. They invited us down to Bowling Green. We were going to go down to Bowling Green that morning. My son Danny coaches a Bantam AA hockey team, as you know. So we had an opportunity before stopping to this game. We went to the South Main Street School in Bowling Green, and apparently Don and Kelly have taken on a big challenge here. And I even looked Don right in the eyes and said, well, are you crazy? You must be crazy to do this. But they've taken on the South Main Street School. They're going to be offered some haunted tours and some group investigations and other things.
You need to look at the pictures on Facebook. Harold will give you links. It is an amazing building.
Right.
Cool.
It looks the part for sure.
Yeah.
It could have been that we were down there and it was kind of nasty weather, kind of gray and drizzly.
Well,
so,
and it was built like 1890.
right, pulling up to the building, we both kind of looked at each other and said, wow, we didn't know what we were to expect.
Right. It's not the way I pictured it in my head.
And Don and Kelly, what a nice couple.
Yeah.
You know, all these years, I know Don and Kelly's been around forever. They're just one of the groups that's been around for a long, long time. You got to admit, the first 15, 20 years, we just never really communicated with anybody. I mean, look, now we have the Ghost Talk show and stuff. We get the opportunity to talk about people and places. So what a nice group. I've learned more about Fringe Paranormal the last 6 months than I've ever known about them. We like the building so much that we had talked to Don and Kelly about maybe getting the place to ourselves one night and maybe making a short documentary there. But Ghost Hunting with the Pros as well as a program that we're going to.
It would be a good place for ghost hunting. It's a big enough building that we can get a lot of people in there investigating.
Right.
And it is in really nice condition. You know what I mean? The inside was, I wasn't sure what to expect, but it's a gorgeous building, huge, tall windows, hardwood floors, and just really interesting, you know, from a historic standpoint. I think
they're going to do very well. If you get an opportunity, you can visit Fringe Paranormal's Facebook page. I just want to look or you can visit their website school and how to book a tour, how to book an investigation. It's fringeparanormal.com. So you can see them on Facebook or visit their website. I put out a lot of information on the types of hauntings, but they said there's activity going on in several rooms. Apparently, maybe one of the custodians had passed away from heart attack there, and they said that he may be roaming the building. We didn't really get to do a long investigation or something. It was basically a tour.
Right.
We did some EVP burst in there, but we had taken a lot of pictures. What a great building.
I definitely would like to go back.
I want to wish Don and Kelly the best of luck, you know, taking on an encounter this huge. I hope them all the success in the world. So if you get an opportunity to visit Fringe Paranormal's website or the Facebook page, check out that South Main Street School. It might be worth it. And we plan on maybe doing a Ghost Hunting with the Pros, like I said, sometime down the line. There's no heat in the building right now.
Right.
So it's going to be hard to pick a nice weather day.
Yes.
But, you know, pure ghost hunters, they're not afraid of the cold.
You know, how many times have we investigated with no heat, no power?
A lot of times. I was telling Don that maybe we can find something really, really early spring is what I'm saying. But I'm much older now. So, you know, there was a big topic going on talking about Facebook this week with several groups. And this whole discussion of ghost hunting versus paranormal investigating.
Oh, okay.
And you know, it's not so much a controversy, but it's a big topic now. You know, the difference between the two, which, you know, I've been spending the last couple of months trying to drive that point home. I got a call from Arizona Tramp last night from Black Swamp Radio. What a nice guy, but he's about as controversial sometimes as I am. And we got to do this. I won't want to say it's a heated discussion, but Tramp knows how to pull my strings. And even when he's in total agreement with me, I don't know for sure if he's invited me back to do another radio show or if he said I'm never going to be on his radio program ever again. But the topic was ghost hunting versus paranormal investigating. I keep telling him I want to do a show on Bigfoot, but I don't know anything about Bigfoot.
No, just because you are interested in Bigfoot doesn't.
I guess I don't have any knowledge of it.
We're not going to be Bigfoot hunters.
But you know, Tramp, if you're listening, you know, you're full of knowledge. I think we're in agreement on this, and sometime maybe we should do another radio show on that topic alone. So, I want to get on with this show. We had so many things to talk about. So listen, there's one thing that's really big that you are now involved in. Every year, we try to sponsor a family. Tell our fans what you got going on this year.
Well, this year we've gotten we sponsor families every year, and we wanted to try something new, so we went with Holiday Angels Toledo. What an amazing group of people these are. These people work so hard and take care of so many families for the holidays. All the families are vetted. They have a legitimate need, a lot of kids. We kind of picked a bigger family this year.
family,
5 children.
5 kids, right?
Yes, we've got a 10-year-old boy, 2 7-year-old boys, and 2 2.5-year-olds, a boy and a girl. So I'm excited.
There was a quote that
to
Holiday
help
Angels
the
came
family.
out with.
It only takes 3
gifts to make a child's Christmas, and
Right.
I told you that kind of affected me. I read that over and over a few times. That profoundly affected me.
Right.
So
we got this. We do it every year. But if anybody would like to help us out, if anybody would like to give this family, we have their information right on our Facebook page. So,
yeah, or they can contact you.
Yeah, message me, because I'm trying to keep things straight, what we have for who. We are also going to be gifting the family, which we don't just do the gifts for the kids every year. We also help the family out with groceries, holiday dinner, cleaning supplies. Cleaning supplies are, it's like so many families need those.
Well, yeah.
And personal hygiene products, just some of the most basic things. And in the food, last year, those kids were so excited to see us. We had such a wonderful time with them. But Harold reminded me how when we carried the groceries in the house, they filed us right into the kitchen, and they were so excited to have milk and cereal and butter.
They made themselves a bowl of cereal.
We're like, oh my gosh,
Yeah, they made themselves a bowl of cereal.
Right,
and the one child quoted, "We have milk, we have milk."
Right. It was
Well, we made our minds then that we would try to do this, every year.
Yeah, and maybe more food if we can. We always have to bring the fresh stuff, but if anybody has anything they want to donate, that we'll store longer.
Well, you started an Excel sheet, I think, to kind of keep track of what's being given.
Yeah, we did get a bed for the oldest boy. That was one of our needs that we had on Facebook. And we've gotten some other things. I still have a bunch of stuff that Michelle's bringing over that I have to go through. And I got a few things myself.
That's
awesome.
awesome.
We got other people.
Well, I think the Christmas Wish program that we do is huge. It gives us an opportunity to give back to the community, because basically we've been very, very lucky. So if anybody wants to give to the Christmas Wish, which is being sponsored by Holiday Angels Toledo, get a hold of Becky. She's heading this thing up. Butch and I, will be standing guard and doing anything we can to help. But Becky's the one going to shore up this program, and get a hold of her. You can get a hold of her right on our Facebook page or email toadsteam@gmail.com. And we got an office phone number if they just want to make that call to you.
I work, but I also have, because I nurse, I have long days I work, and then I have a lot of days off, so I can meet and pick things up, or we can find a central meeting. We don't have to have everything delivered until December 17th.
That's the
delivery. We've got time. So
good. We don't want to run out of time, that's for sure. Well, we've had a lot of things to talk about. Let's get back to what the show tonight's the topic
Fears
is.
and phobias.
Fears and phobias. And there's no laughing or picking on me tonight. As a paranormal investigator, I've been doing this, a few years now. I have to be honest with everybody, and Butch knows this, and sometimes he teases me about it. I have a horrible fear. There's been investigations that we've done in the past, like in Mothman, we were in one of the TNT bunkers, and I'm looking through an infrared camera with a 2-inch screen on it, and I was panning the walls in there with Butch, and the Mothman jumped out of the wall. It was one of those 3D paintings, and it scared the hell out of me. And I had yelled, and Butch always rubbing that into me. Every time we do a presentation or something, Butch likes to give me a shot about what a scaredy cat I am. But I have a real.
I don't really find you to be a scaredy cat.
I have a real fear of dolls, as you know.
Mm-hmm.
And the old saying is something I've heard a long time ago, and I've just never forgot it. Dolls were originally manufactured to house the souls of the dead. And I don't know if there's some paranormal investigators or ghost hunters out there that's ever been in a really dark, creepy room with dolls. I'm always fearful that, they're going to open up their eyes, or that they're going to look at me, or even scary, they're going to say something. It's a horrible fear of mine.
Because they're human-like, but they're not human. And
something, and non-humanoid, or whatever they call that. The other thing is clowns. What's really funny is the last couple of years on Halloween, I've been dressing up as a clown, trying to get over this fear. I don't know if it's a fear or phobia, maybe a combination of. And I'm okay with dressing up as a clown. But the minute the clown comes up to go trick-or-treating, I'm a grown man and I'm backing off. And it doesn't matter if it's a child. I still have a problem with clowns.
But with the scary clowns, like the guy from It or like any clown?
No, I think any
happy
clown. I mean, when I was a kid, Becky, in my bedroom wall, I don't know, but maybe some of our older fans out there can remember the old velvet pictures of clowns
Oh, yeah.
that were on pictures.
Those are creepy.
Well, I had one hanging in my bedroom. I was terrified of it.
And they have tears.
Yeah, I was just little. I know what happened to that picture. But I don't think my mother has any idea whatever happened to that picture. I know exactly what happened to the picture. It was disposed of.
Right.
So clowns, dolls, and it's just horrible with me. And maybe not so much to do with ghost hunting. I got a horrible fear of heights. So, sometimes when you're investigating, you can be in high places, on tops of buildings, and I don't like that at all either. So, but you have some phobias as well. I mean, even if you watch the professionals. But let me
go back to your phobias. Fear of clowns, I was reading about that because I was reading what some of your fears were. And a lot of people, it's because they have that painted on happy face. And you can't see their real features, what their face really looks like. You just see
the man behind the mask, so to speak. Yeah.
Seriously,
that's scary enough.
That could be it. They got that big fake smile painted on, and they're like that.
I don't even like mimes. I don't even like that. It all scares me. I have no idea why.
Mimes are kind of cool.
Well, even professional ghost hunters, paranormal investigators, Zad Bagan from Ghost Adventures, who's always going after demons. He's always provoking and challenging. I don't know if anybody's ever watched a show where he was in. There was one show at the Clown Motel when the clown was sitting there and his hand moved.
Yeah.
Zach went running out. And everybody talks about Brian from Ghost Hunters when he saw the apparition. I think it was in the lighthouse or something. Dude, run! And Jason and Grant were so angry at him. Listen, Zach ran out of the Clown Motel like a scaredy cat. We have a comment, Nick?
Oh yeah, Cindy said that she's going on investigations, but she has a terrible fear of rodents, and she was wondering how often you.
Becky's got a story to share about
Musophobia.
Musophobia
is a real thing, a fear of rodents.
Tell our fans what happened to you one night.
One time I was squeezed in this little tiny. You know what? Here's the thing. Don't even think about it because it's not. You don't see mice very often. It's very rare. You know what? Don't look for them. So that I'm afraid of spiders. But when I'm investigating, I don't let myself look for spiders. You know what I mean? If you're looking for
until one lands on you.
If it lands on me, it's one.
Well, scream bloody. We were on Genesee Street. I should have gave this address away. We put you in a little cubby hole where we had just captured an EVP the night before.
There's a dead mouse right next to my foot.
Yeah.
Right next to my foot. And that I could not stop looking at it, and I couldn't even concentrate. I'm not afraid of mice, but it was like, a dead mouse right next to me.
I think if a mouse come running. You're in a dark cubby hole. A mouse come running and jumped over top of you. I think you change your opinion.
Well, that would startle you, yeah.
So what's it called?
Musophobia.
Musophobia.
It's one of those weird random things I was reading about when I was looking at, different kind of phobias that might affect a ghost hunter. And it was one I added to my list that, what I mean?
Well, rodents and insects.
It's in the top 10, actually. A lot of people are afraid of mice.
Well, rodents and insects are both huge. Steve from Ghost Hunters is petrified of spiders. I've seen him on the show, and I don't know why they didn't edit that out because it kind of made Steve look kind of silly, but he absolutely would stop a session and leave if there was a spider in there. I mean, I've never seen a grown man react to spiders so badly, and he.
Here's the thing.
He has got a horrible fear of them.
I'm not afraid if I see a spider. I will kill a spider. I'll throw a spider outside. I will admire spiders from a distance. If they're on me, it's different. If I see one when I'm investigating, it's right by me. The problem is I'm not gonna be able to stop watching the darn spider to make sure it's not, coming my way or it's not gonna swing down in front of me or something.
Well, I think
it's very distracting.
I've seen you react to spiders before.
Yeah, I know.
In the house, so I mean, you're acting very brave in front of our followers.
That's if they're on.
I've heard you scream from a separate floor, and I go running up there. What's the matter? What's the matter? What are you screaming about?
I'm killing a spider.
There's a spider up here. Don't tell you're killing it. You're screaming.
No, Shirley, you just.
Yeah, right.
Did you have something?
Oh yeah, Shelley shared that her fear is snakes, and even if she only sees the snake skin, that is one of the things.
I've encountered a snake on an investigation. I was up in Ida, Michigan, a ton of years ago, and we were outside the house because they said there's things going on the property. And Butch and I had walked to the back property by a fire pit where they were burning some things and maybe doing some offerings. And a snake had crossed the ground, and I had jumped. I'm not afraid of snakes, but I understand the fear. We here at the home, we have a couple of snakes in our backyard that all the grandkids are petrified of, and yet we tell them to leave them alone. They belong here. But I got to be honest with you. Every time I see the snake, I go like, oh, it's okay. It's the snake, and I back up.
No, I've stepped on it.
I give them their space. Yeah, I remember when you
Super
stepped on it.
creepy.
So listen, you're sitting here all brave, and I appreciate that. I know better. You're petrified of spiders. What other things would you consider being a paranormal investigator? What other fears could hamper your
one that
session?
could really hamper an investigator, which I don't have, but that would be like really bad one, would be claustrophobia. Because look at how many times you're in a closet, you're in a cellar, you're cramped in an attic, and when Jeff and I climbed down that big pit thing.
Down a well.
Weekend, yeah.
Well, you were asking for that. I mean,
we've been in tunnels, abandoned tunnels, that were partially caved in quite a ways back there.
I never knew you really had that phobia.
I don't have that phobia. I'm saying that's one that would hamper an investigator. That would be like a really legitimately hard one to get over.
Mm-hmm.
Because you find yourself in that position a lot when you're ghost hunting.
Well, I guess the important thing here, is even ghost hunters have fears and phobias.
Yes.
I think is another horrible, I don't want to say horrible fear, but it's always in the back of your mind. It's like the haunting itself. Fear of attachments when you're going to a really haunted location, or if it's a lot of
not a phobia per se, but
a fear for
legitimate fear.
Even,
yes.
How many times we went to where the clients were reporting some really negative activity, and going in there, you make sure we do our prayers and we make sure we go in, ready to do the investigation. You don't want them to catch you on your weekday. I mean, speaking of that, how many times in the past, it doesn't happen all the time, but I can remember, and Butch does not have any fears really, but how many times we went into somewhere where there's been reported negative claims and it's affected one of our investigators profoundly.
Right.
I can remember one investigation, we won't name the location because it was a private investigation, Butch was just in simply doing his baseline readings, something he does in every investigation. I mean, that's just like protocol. I mean, he could do that with his eyes closed.
Mm-hmm.
He had seemed to be missing for a little bit longer than what he should have, and eventually we got him to come out of the house, and he just wasn't right. He was sick, feeling nauseated, kind of out of it, and Michelle had to do a cleansing and blessing in order for him to even continue the investigation.
Right, and you got to give him credit for that.
It was a partial attachment of some kind.
Yeah, she shook it off, and he went right back.
But see, we never think of those things.
Right.
I mean, I think it would definitely hamper us if we had a fear of attachment so greatly that we wouldn't be able to do the investigation. We have to go in there kind of fearless.
Right.
And sometimes when you encounter things,
kind of like how I talk about spiders.
Right. You have to be prepared for those things, but they can't really play heavy on your mind.
Did you have something?
Yeah, Ed asked if negative energy ever follows you guys home from an investigation.
Well, can I? Or you want to? Well, tell them about our house. Tell them about the Stephen here. I mean, that's a great question. We might need to be honest.
Well, we have thought that a couple of times after investigating that something has followed us home, and we do the opening and closing prayers, and we try to be diligent. And usually it's something like temporary fleeting, and it could just be a little bit of negative energy, and we'll have a little bit of activity, but then it'll go away. And that's a good question. And part of that fear of something attaching to you is things you don't want to bring into your house if you have a family. I have grandchildren that come to this house, and I don't want them to be scared by anything. So we have to regularly cleanse our
Yeah, I was
home.
going to say, over the years, you've become very. Matter of fact, you were doing it today.
There's the shell.
Yeah. So, here's a real thing.
Sit around talking
that's a
about
great
ghosts,
question
and
because
I want good energy in the house.
this is a great question.
Right.
You find yourself, no matter what, if it's been an investigation that there could have been a possibility of attachment or not, you are diligent in cleansing and blessing the house yourself on a regular basis.
Well, here's the thing. Things that seems like, in my own experience, which isn't that long, I've been doing this since, 2008, 2009. But in my own experience, it seems like the things that follow you home are just maybe temporarily curious, and then they move on. I've never had anything stick. You know what I mean?
No, we've never had anything really, come home with us and stay, and we've, had to up the ante or call
Right.
Michelle in
Right.
or a priest or anybody to get rid of. And some of it could be our own fears and phobias as well, that maybe there's nothing going on. We're just kind of hypersensitive.
Because of the
But we
kids.
follow the rules. We do our opening prayers, our closing prayers, and we always cleanse the house. Good, bad, or indifferent, whether it needs it or not.
Right.
I think sometimes you're cleansing the house just because I think you say I'm a negative energy sometimes. I think
No, I say I
cleanse me.
feel a negative energy,
Right,
not necessarily you.
But you
are.
only say that when I'm home. So I come in, what are you doing? I'm trying to watch a football game. Just getting rid of some negative energy in this living room in here. So it's kind of a funny, but it's constantly on our minds, but
Yeah.
I don't think we dwell on it. at
No,
all.
and I don't think we fear it.
Well, when you
But-
research these fears and phobias, there was well over 100 of them, and
I mean, my gosh, there were way more than
there's
that.
a fear of everything.
Everything, literally.
yeah, I think-
You can be afraid. You can be afraid of ghosts. Many of our clients may have plasmophobia. I think it was.
Well, when you said
Phasmophobia.
something to me earlier about fear of ghosts, and I had told you
Phasmophobia.
what I had told you right there at that moment, I don't think that really affects a ghost hunter or paranormal investigator.
No,
I
I mean the
don't-
people whose
Right,
house we
right.
investigate.
That's the thing is I don't think they can be investigators if a fear goes. But what about our clients? How many times you being the case manager? I mean, obviously everybody knows that you're the first. Becky will be the first person you talk to, your first contact, all the way to the closing of the case. How many families have called you and they are petrified? They're
A
scared
lot.
to
And I
death.
don't really think they have phasmophobia. I think they're afraid of what's going on in their home and afraid of what it may escalate to. Do they need to be afraid for their kids or for
Well, don't you think it has a
even
little
their
bit to do?
pets sometimes?
Don't you think it has a little bit to do with being afraid of ghosts?
Well, sure.
I mean, it's gotta be
but
scary.
nobody's afraid of ghosts until they have one in their house.
Right.
You know what I mean? You're like, oh yeah, ghost, whatever. Until all of a sudden they think they have.
Well,
one.
and I think even I may
Very
have a little bit of that. We've been in
You're not
locations.
allowed to have that.
Oh, I know, but we've been in locations where, some activities going. Well, what about the time in the attic with the little girl?
Mhm.
I became a little bit anxious. I mean, she's clearly stating that she hated me.
Clearly.
A cradle's beginning to rock on its own. I don't care what a seasoned investigator
And
you
what
are.
did your voice sound like? I don't know, 4, 7. Pretty scary.
Yeah, I guess my
Pretty
point is
scary
even
stuff.
seasoned investigators can have a little bit of fear of ghosts. I think with me,
Well, it's not like she was singing, Harold, you're so nice.
right, I think with me, it's more of an anticipation or waiting for something to happen when you're doing an EVP session or you're in the middle of an investigation. I'm never surprised when it does happen, but is that heightened awareness, that heightened sensitivity to it. And then once it happens, it's like, oh God, I think we regroup quickly and deal with it.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't want to say it's a fear, but
We're like, oh, what
Right.
was that?
it still
let's
started.
get after it.
So I guess you could say that it's a little bit fearful. It may scare you
Yeah,
for that
but
brief second.
pretty much any time you could be sitting in a pitch black room where you can't see your hand in front of your face and somebody could just fall out of an armoire.
Yeah, something like that. Well, isn't there a fear of the dark too? I mean, isn't there such thing as fear of the dark? Like, there's got to be. I don't know
There
what
is
it's called.
a fear of the dark. I wrote it down.
So do you think you could be a ghost hunter?
That's legitimate phobia.
Yeah, but do you
No,
think you could be a
can-
ghost hunter and afraid of the dark or
Well,
no?
but you could have daytime investigations. It's a lot noisier, you're gonna have a lot more interruptions.
But I was just thinking if somebody wanted to be a paranormal investigator or ghost hunter, but they were afraid of the dark, or could they actually do it? I don't know.
I've got a whole list of things that could bother ghost hunters or paranormal investigators. Fear of demons, fear of the
Well, I
night,
think
fear of mirrors.
everybody should have a. I don't
Why
like
are
mirrors
people
either.
Afraid of mirrors?
Yeah, I don't like
Tell
mirrors.
us why.
Well, once again, I think the crossing mirrors that were with the reflection going can create a portal, so to speak, where spirits can go in and out of. I don't know how much truth there is to that. It's just something I've always heard, and I guess I've always been aware of it. So we were just doing Michelle and I were doing a house cleansing last week one day, and I was standing there and I saw, Michelle cleansing the house, but I saw her through a reflection of a reflection of a reflection of a mirror, and that was the first thing I thought of. I don't know how much truth there is to it. I guess I have a lot of fears and phobias. I don't know what I'm doing being a ghost hunter.
I don't think you can be a
Paranormal
ghost hunter if you
investigator.
have more than 2. So maybe
I'm up to
maybe
3.
if you- yeah.
I got maybe 4.
Maybe if you only have like 2 per setting, per investigation, in the setting that you're in, like
maybe
the
I'm,
heights, really, you don't have to do.
I guess maybe I'm
Me and Jeff
done.
will always
I
climb up
guess
everything.
my fears and phobias have overtaken me. I guess I'm done. So
I don't think so.
anyways, for anybody who might be watching the show today, I mean, everybody's got a fear or phobia. I think it's a great question. So even if you're watching this video a little bit later and you get to this part of the video, comment what your fear or phobia is, and how it affects your everyday life. Not so much a ghost hunter or paranormal investigator, but some fears and phobias can cripple you.
Yeah.
I mean, just absolutely cripple you. So, and they're real. I mean, they're diagnosed and they're real. They're a medical condition.
Like the lady who was talking, was it Cindy? That was afraid of mice?
Yep.
Mice stay outdoors most of the time. They only come in starting in November.
So now you're telling me, hey, Cindy, it's
listen,
November.
If you can't get over the fear of mice and you think you want to investigate, but that will hamper you, number 1, don't look for them. Number 2, maybe don't go hunting in the winter time when they're all coming in to try to get out of the cold.
Or maybe she's just afraid of mice. But I'm glad you informed her that it's November and they get in the house in November. She's going to spend the rest of the night. I apologize, Cindy. You're going to spend the rest of the night looking for the mice.
Yeah, no, they.
And you were just joking, right? So,
right. That was.
And the other one was
made that
snakes.
up.
Yeah, I think Shelley said something about snakes.
Yes.
I don't know anybody that. Well, that's not because there's snake handlers out there, but I don't.
Snakes are just.
I don't like
sinister
snakes
looking.
by any means.
They're like sharks. You look at their eyes and you're just like, oh no.
Yeah, I don't like snakes
You don't
at
even
all.
care about anybody anywhere. There's
Right.
no way you would be a pet.
So we're not going to keep everybody on. I don't know how long. Nick, how long we've been on?
About 35 minutes.
Yeah, we've been on a little bit too long. I want to take a minute to thank Nick Lewandowski. He comes out every Sunday to do Ghost Talk. He's our producer and our director of this show. And I'm hoping, I have a lot of belief in Nick, and I'm hoping that this show can get better, the video quality and the audio quality as we go on.
We're a
So,
work in progress.
yeah, and listen, Nick is kind of new to the group. He's been with us for a few months now as a videographer. He's now starting to touch on the tech stuff for me. Him and I are now working along with Butch, doing documentaries for the upcoming book, Ghost Talk Paranormal Ohio. So Nick is taking us on the road. He's doing some short video clips of us. He's going to do some of the interviews with some of our past clients and put a short story together, kind of like Chris Tillman from Haunted Toledo does, which I like so much.
Those are really good.
Yeah, he does
I really
2-minute
enjoy
tales.
those, yeah.
Listen, Chris Tillman is really, really good at that. And I've been telling Chris ever since I know him, I need to start doing something. And this is an opportunity to promote the book, upcoming book. So we're going to do 2-minute stories, I guess, on every particular story that's going to be in the book. So
Right.
I'm really looking forward to that. I'm hoping Nick.
I'm looking forward to watching him.
Yeah, Nick is going to be working really hard on that in the next couple of months. So we finished our first one. Butch and I had this thing at Wolffinger Cemetery. I met Eliza Ford years and years and years ago there, and I always go back. I was there Halloween
Met
Day.
the spirit of Eliza.
Yeah, I went there Halloween Day to say hello like I always do. It's kind of like an annual holiday thing with us, and I stopped by and said hi to the children. And as I was talking to the children there and listening all the things that Nick and I had been talking about previously earlier in the day there, and it kind of hit with me. Wolffinger is going to be one of the stories I want to write about in the book, and it just kind of lined up. I mean, that's somewhere I go every year, a couple times a year. I need to talk about Wolffinger Cemetery and the 3 children, Rebecca, Thomas, and Ernest. I've done a couple shows on the news, for the Halloween, spooktacular shows of the news show. But more importantly, I did an investigation there years ago and had an encounter. So Nick Lewandowski promises to bring this story to life in a documentary, and then maybe that we can look at it and it'll be part of the book as well. So I've decided Wolfingers will be part of the book. And so anyways, a big thanks to Nick Lewandowski for all he's doing, and look for it. And I'm trying to remember what he's calling it. Tobes Haunted Encounters is going to be the documentaries coming out. So Nick's going to be putting them out. I think he said Wolffinger will be out the day after Thanksgiving. So by next week at this time, our first documentary should be out. I don't know how professional it's going to
the
be.
weekend after.
Yeah, I don't know how it's going to look. I don't really know
Nick's
anything.
shaking his head.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. Some of these kids are high tech, and
They are.
and I'm a very
They're
low.
got skills.
Yeah, I'm a very low-tech guy, so my biggest question is, where did I put my mouse? Where's the button to turn this computer on? So anyways, Togue's Haunted Encounters is going to come out, and I want to thank Chris Tillman for this great idea that he did, and he shared with me the software, some things and some secrets to do it. So I'm looking forward to starting to do this. So Thanksgiving's next Thursday. I don't know if we're going to do a show next Sunday. Apparently it'll be up to Nick Lewandowski, so if he wants to, I'll be more than happy to. So we'll find another topic to talk about. So before we get off the air, tell us again quickly about Holiday Angels and how people can contact you. Go ahead.
Yeah, we did have a question about that. Angela was asking where they can drop off the Christmas stuff for the families.
Well, you can drop off. Can they drop it in?
Yeah, I'm going to have a holiday. It's going to be called the Christmas Wish Box at Sylvania Tamil Shanner. Or if anybody contacts us, we can meet them at a local place to pick it up, or they can bring it to the house here if they want to deliver it.
Yeah, if you don't want to go to Sylvania Tamil Shanner and look for our box or Harold.
It'll be at the front of the building.
Right.
And it'll say the Christmas Wish.
Or then just contact me and we'll make arrangements to meet and get the stuff.
I guess
I'll be checking it a lot because I'm trying to keep things equal between the kids and get out what we
I
need.
can't make it clear enough that you've had.
Yes, that would be wonderful.
You've headed this program up. I believe in it. I think it's great that we sponsored a family. The important thing is, if you're going to email us at toguesteam@gmail.com, off 734-224-0003, or if you go to Facebook, us, contact Becky. I think is important. This is a huge family. We want to try to keep the gifts evenly distributed. Because if we get 5 for one person and 2 for another, that means that we have to go back out shopping. It's going to make it more difficult. So I would like everybody to don't contact me, don't contact Butch, contact Becky directly through our Facebook page, our email address, our website, or even call the ghost house.
If the sooner we can get stuff in.
Well, we want to start now.
Then we know where we need to fill in. Last year we got gift cards that we used for groceries, gift cards we just gave the family for various places. There's a lot of things you can do. We've got a list on our Facebook giving the kids sizes and ages. They're going to need school clothes for sure. There are only a couple of toy type things they're asking for. Of course, we're going to do more than that, obviously.
Well, on our Facebook page, don't you have it pinned
we have
right
a
to the top?
whole pin to the top of our page.
Yeah,
we have a whole
every time you go to the
list
Toledo
of
Ghost Hunter Society,
and message me on Facebook. If nothing else, or like you said, the email address, the phone.
Well, the last family we did, and then we'll wrap up the show. The last family we did, I don't know how, when you encounter something like that, how you can't give. These kids were so creative. I remember walking in the living room. They didn't have a Christmas tree, and yet they had a string of lights, 50 miniature lights, and they had it scotch taped to the wall in the shape of a Christmas tree.
They were really very sweet kids. It was.
Well, you managed to get them all. You managed to get them all some outfits.
Oh yeah, we got them a lot of stuff.
Listen, I can't wait, and I was hoping. I told you this. I know a lot of people maybe don't know this, but I've been playing Santa Claus for years and years and years. I was one of the Santa Clauses at Children's Wonderland. I retired this year from it, so it's kind of different. But I was hoping I get the opportunity to maybe go through Holiday Angels, and maybe you and I can go out, Mr. and Mrs. Claus. You also play Mrs. Claus along with me. So I was hoping that maybe you and I could visit this family maybe a couple of days in advance or something, and just talk about the spirit of Christmas and believe and good things will happen. But I was just hoping that I get an opportunity.
Maybe it would, like you had mentioned before, the day that we meet. The Holiday Angels usually meet someplace with the family.
Yeah, well, maybe we'll ask them at that time. So anybody wants to give to this Holiday and Angels, it's pinned to our Facebook page. It should be the first thing you see from now till Christmas. The deadline I guess the delivery day is December 17th on a Saturday. So we're hoping to get everything done.
But listen, if you don't want to donate to our family, get on Holiday Angels. So they still have some.
Yeah, they have some other families that need to be sponsored as well. So. And
you don't have to do a whole family. You can pitch in anything. They will distribute it to different kids from different families.
What a great cause.
Yes.
What a great cause.
Yes.
Well, listen, we're gonna get off there. I want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight, whether you watched for 1 minute or 2 minutes, or for any of you diehard Toledo Ghost Hunter fans that's watched the whole program. You don't want to forget to say how grateful Becky and I, are for you to follow us, and everything we're doing. This is something we really believe in. Well, the holidays are upon us now. Thanksgiving's coming Thursday. I want to wish you a very happy Thanksgiving this holiday. Stay safe, and you want to bid us a fond adieu here.
Thanks for watching, and have a great week.
We'll see you next
And
Sunday.
happy
Yeah,
Thanksgiving.
we'll see you next weekend. Happy huntings.
Happy, that's what I was supposed to say, right? Happy holidays.